Week 4 of the NFL is in the books, and there were a lot of interesting outcomes and some big injuries, a lot to talk about, and we'll do that in today's video as we cover my power rankings and predictions going into Week 5. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, we're starting with my power rankings as we look from 25 to 32, and starting with the Houston Texans are now my official bottom team. I believe they're the only team in the NFL officially, right, without a victory. I want to confirm this. Yes, it's true. 0-3-1, and really they got going late in that game against the Chargers. They were down like 27-0 early in the game, so I mean, there were some bright spots. Obviously, Dameon Pierce, going off was nice, but still, this is a Chargers team with a ton of injuries. This is a Houston Texans team with just not enough talent there. A lot of young talent, but just not enough talent to really stay competitive, and I feel like they could end up being the bottom team moving forward. I have the Bears just ahead of them. Listen, Bears fans. I know y'all are like, oh, we 2-2. We have 500. I don't care. Matt Eberflus does not trust Justin Fields to throw the football. And Justin Fields had his best game. Threw for the most passes this season. A hot 22 passes. Only completed 50% of them. And you know what? You were so bad in this game that the Giants were down essentially Daniel Jones. Then Tyrod Taylor went down to concussions, and Jones had to play a little bit, but they kind of played a little bit of the Wildcat to keep him off the field. Bears fans, y'all 2-2, but it was against the Texans and it was against the Niners, and one of the most moist games of the NFL. I'll just put it that way. You're not a good team. You're just not. So you're here at 31. Panthers, they bit the dust again, this time to the Cardinals. Baker Mayfield, he looked like Baker Mayfield. It wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. You're one of the worst teams in the NFL currently. Hopefully you can get a quarterback and a new coaching staff. Keep Phil Snow. Phil Snow is a really good DC. Washington, well, I almost said football team. The Commanders, the Comrags, get the Comrags a-swinging. Offense did a hot lot of nothing against Dallas. And you lost to Cooper Rush. I know a lot of teams have lost to Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is currently 3-0 in the as the start of this season. But still, the defense didn't look good. Remember when this defense had so much promise? This is another team feels like they're going to blow up the coaching staff at the end of the year. And it'd probably be wise to, especially the defense. I feel like it's just Jack Del Rio, man. He's too predictable as a coordinator at this point. And a lot of the players he have don't align with his scheme. Mainly when we talk about the secondary. So you're here at 29. Detroit, man, tough loss there. You gave up, what was it, 48 points, I believe? You gave up, let me find it. I know y'all scored a lot because y'all had to. You gave up 48 points to the flippin' Seahawks. Had to score 22 points in the fourth quarter to make this close, but wow, that defense is bad. Hot doo-doo butter. I mean, it was nice to see the offense come alive. Keep in mind that Seahawks defense ain't that good. Tough loss, rough loss. Hopefully you get Amon-Ra St. Brown back next week. I know you were down him, but still, your defense is bad. All right, got the Pittsburgh Steelers, though. This was weird. I didn't want to put them this low because, honestly, I think now that I assume Kenny Pickett, he took over in the second half. And I know it wasn't all pretty for Pickett. He was 10 of 13. Just happened to be, he had 3 picks in there. Granted, one was on a Hail Mary. But he got the offense into the red zone twice. And really, I feel like they should be a little bit higher. I have a good feeling going forward with Kenny Pickett. I thought he should have been the starter since week 1. But I don't know. In good conscience, I couldn't put y'all ahead of the Jets. Jets had Zach Wilson, again, another guy that was kind of up and down, but the defense looks really good for the Jets. Or it looks like I say really good. You were facing Mitch Trubisky, but the defense looked good, and I feel like they're not a middle of the pack team just yet, but I think this is a team that could like rattle off a few wins, maybe end the year 5-6 wins. But it was good to see Zach Wilson playing good football. Holy moly, Seattle Seahawks, what the hell? You put up 48. I know it was the Lions, but still, you put up 48. You're 2-2. You could easily be 3-1. That Atlanta game was pretty darn close, but yeah, good on y'all. I feel like this is probably the highest they're gonna be. But what do I know, man? Geno Smith is he's cooking. He's cooking. Can't say the same thing about Russ, but we'll talk about the Broncos when we get to the Broncos. Though Russ had a better game. On to 17 through 24. The Atlanta Falcons moving up 4 spots for me. This offense just is efficient. It really is. They have kept this team in games they really shouldn't have been. Honestly, like if the defense would have been like solid against the Rams, then we could be talking about a different story. Y'all came soaring back. Like the offense looks good. I'm flabbergasted. I fear we might not see Desmond Ridder at all this season unless Marcus Mariota gets hurt. Defense, obviously, they need to add pieces defensively, but overall, it's been impressive. It's been an impressive start from my point of view for the Falcons. Keep in mind, that Rams game barely lost. Came storming back, though. Then again, they let the Rams get out to them like 28-3. But probably you played the Saints like for 3 quarters. Like you should have beat them. Like I know that game at the 4th quarter, hop on the Jameis roller coaster. Put your hands up. It's going to be a crazy ride. But this team easily could be 3-1. So yeah, no, I'm impressed. Congratulations, Las Vegas Raiders. You got your first victory of the season against a Broncos team that just doesn't know who they are. The win, it was a needed win. If you go 0-4, you're hitting the panic button. Things have gone awry. But y'all move on next week. This is a problem with the Raiders, man. They got a tough schedule. And I say this not knowing who they have. They got the Chiefs next week in Kansas City. So you needed that because that's going to be a tough game Monday night against the Chiefs. But yeah, 1-3, yay! New England Patriots, man. Mac Jones didn't play this game. And then Brian Hoyer went down. Bailey Zappi came in. And, he was fine. He was fine enough. Like, he was fine enough that they almost won this game against the Packers. I don't feel like this is a very bad team. They've gotten... Honestly, like I've been impressed with how their rookies are playing. Cole Strange has been very good. Jack Jones was a monster in this game. They've let Marcus Jones see the field a bit. Like really, their letdown defensively came via probably their best corner, Jonathan Jones, as I think he got beat for the touchdown, and then he almost got beat for another touchdown where Romeo Dubs couldn't secure the ball on his way to the ground. Ground forced it out. So tough game for him, but this team, they can run the ball. They can run the ball well. Bailey Zappi, he's fine for now. Hopefully Mac Jones could get in there. They're not a good team by any means, but like still, they're a competitive squad. Saints, there was no way they were going to win. There was no way. Like I thought they were going to win with the red rifle, suiting up. They were down Alvin Kamara. They were down Michael Thomas. They had some injuries on the offensive line as well. There was no way they should have beat the Vikings, and they did. But that game was a hell of a lot closer than I thought it would be, than I expected. And good on y'all. I feel like this Saints team, they're 1-3. I don't feel like they're that bad, but I don't know. We'll see moving forward. They're here at 21. Indianapolis Colts, they fall to 1-2-1. It was kind of a must win there for for the Colts. I felt like they got in the hole early against Tennessee, and Tennessee played a good game. Now you're sitting there third in your division. You're now behind the Titans. You're chasing apparently a very good Jaguars team. Like, things aren't looking good for the Colts now. Jonathan Taylor might have sounds like he has a high ankle sprain, so he might miss some time depending on the severity of that. So things just ain't looking good. New York Giants. Don't know fully on how things look for Daniel Jones. Again, he was able to come back in the game, but they played a lot of Wildcat. At that point, they got Saquon Barkley. Told you, man, that guy's one of the best run backs in the league when healthy. Dude put out a really good game there against the Bears. That's not saying much. That was the thing, man. This Giants team, they're 3-1. Best team they've probably faced had been the Titans. I'm trying to remember who they lost to. Oh, it was Cooper Rush and the unstoppable Cowboys. But like, I'm having a hard time believing if this Giants team is for real or not. To be fair, the beginning part of the schedule let's call a spade a spade. It's been pretty easy. This week you get the Packers in London, so it's not even a home game for the Packers. So I feel like we will get a better read on the Giants. I'm just not sold on this 3-1 being for real. I'm just not yet. So just hang with me. We'll see after this week. Oh man, Cleveland, man. Oh, what the heck, dude? What the heck? You losing to the Falcons? Like, I get it, man. Like, Deshaun Watson, he's still a long way away from coming back. The offense, it runs effective enough. The defense is good, but now you're in these close games against the honestly bad teams. But even against good teams, you've been playing them close. Not to say the Steelers. I guess one of those games were against the Steelers, so that's kind of tough to count. Who was their other victory this year? Was the Panthers. So, you know what? I think I have the Browns rated too high. We'll see how they fare versus the Chargers this week, but yeah, don't know when you get Myles Garrett back. Maybe Javion Clowney will be healthy enough. But yeah, I feel like this is as good as you can expect right now. 2-2, they're keeping their head above water. You know, if they were in the NFC, that'd be good enough. But in the AFC, week 11 or week 12, it's a long way away. When you get your quarterback back, and I think you'll be lucky if you're even like 2 games below 500. Tennessee Titans started the year out rough, 0-2. We were getting to panic button type of situation, and you know what they did? They got a tough win against the Raiders. They may have let the Colts come back in that game, but they got a good win. The team's looking a bit better. Like, yeah, the offensive line's not ideal, but the run blocking was definitely better against the Colts this week, to be fair. That their defensive coordinator is Gus Bradley. I'm not a fan. But Tennessee, 2-2. It's a good way to respond after starting the year rough. And then on to 9-16, Arizona Cardinals. I feel like this team's not terrible, but they're not great. They're just this middle of pack team. They'll be fighting for a wild card. The secondary is still not great. Luckily, they had to face Baker Mayfield, so it didn't really matter much. And I say secondary, it's mainly the cornerback room there. Kyler Murray's still Kyler Murray though. He's a good player. He's a good QB, and they'll be getting weapons back in the next couple of weeks. Rondale Moore. I'm not positive Rondale Moore even played. I don't know if he was active for this game. But more importantly, you get D-Hop back in 2 more weeks. So Rondale was active. Okay, that's cool to see him active. Man, you would think he would have got all those Dortch targets, but It ain't work out that way, huh? Oh well, but hey, good win. Good luck. Just feel like Cardinals are just middle pack team. Their defense just isn't good. They can't get pass rush. Their best pass rusher has been Zach Allen. That's not good. And their cornerback room is very depleted. I say depleted. That's to act like that there was actual talent in the cornerback room. Dallas Cowboys, man. A lot of people after week 1 were talking, oh, they're going to be picking in their top 5. Look at them now, 3-1. 3 wins with freaking Cooper Rush. Dak scheduled comeback, I think, week 7? I don't know. They're making it. He didn't throw this week. They're making it sound like it's inching closer and closer. But honestly, with the way this team is playing, it's like, hey, Cooper Rush, just lead us until we feel comfortable with Dak's return. Good on the Cowboys, man. 3-1, responded well. And one of those were legit, man. Bengals, that's a legit team. I know the other two were divisional games against the Giants and the Commanders, but still, man, 3-1. A lot of people wrote them off after Dak went down. It's good to see it. This defense is playing great football. Jags, despite the loss, they move up 2 spots. They were up 14-0. 14-0 on the Eagles. My boy Andre Sisco had a pick 6. Look what happens, Urban Meyer, when you just let Andre Sisco play. And it got away from him late. The Eagles are a really good team. And if anything, this game sold me on, like, I think the Jags are for real, man. This is a good Jags squad. So I'm really impressed. I can't wait to watch more Jags going forward. Broncos, man. I feel like I should bump them a bit more down this list. They get the Colts on Thursday night this week. The big loss, Javonte Williams. Not that they were using him. How's Melvin Gordon getting more touches than Javonte Williams? Melvin Gordon he acts like he's allergic to the football. What, 4 or 5 fumbles on the season already? It's ridiculous. But the offense, Russ, they looked better. But you were playing a Raiders team that hadn't been that good thus far this season. And you lost. You blew it. Like, I don't know, man. I'd like to think that they'll turn around. Things will start gelling. They're also down Randy Gregory, at least for a few weeks. So, I don't know. Those are 2 big losses. Minnesota Vikings, I'm moving you up 1. Like, you had a close game with flipping the Andy Dalton-led Saints. Latavius Murray had a solid game on the ground. That's right, not Alvin Kamara. Latavius Murray. Like, come on, man. Like, Minnesota, this should have been a better game. This should have been a better victory for y'all. Like, y'all, it's ridiculous. We shouldn't really talk about, like, the Saints almost tied it up at the end. So it's like, I don't know, man. I'm just not that impressed with the Vikings thus far. I believe Trevor Sikkema put it best as a team that does well with their scripted, their scripted drives and whatnot. So typically your opening drive, first drive in the first half or in the second half, the 2-minute drills. And where they struggle is the rest, the fluff there, throughout the game, just calling the game. So I don't know. We'll see with this Vikings team. Every team here, the top 11 teams are legit contenders. Like, we talked about those other teams. Like, I'm loving the Jags. Can't wait for Dak to get back for the Cowboys. But, like, from 11 here on, these are teams I expect to make some noise. And that's kind of an asterisk with number 11 here. Dolphins were actually my biggest faller this week. And it's not because they lost. It's because they lost Tua. That's a big hit. I know they got steady Teddy. But the way this offense was performing with Tua under center was just phenomenal. The defense still plays been playing really good, even against the Bengals. They were the only thing keeping them in that game, and one big pass from Teddy. But there's only so much when your offense just can't keep the defense off the field. So Bengals went ahead, scored 13 in the fourth quarter. And I'm kind of scared that might be a thing until Tua gets back and there's no timetable on his return. Hopefully get healthy, man. It's been a sucky draw the cards for him. As all that stuff starts to, like, the NFL they fired the guy that let Tua back in, the doctor, the NFL hired doctor, the concussion specialist. And now they'll look at the Dolphins' actual medical staff leading up until the game. So, I don't know. We'll hear more about that. Real unfortunate. Rams, you got mollywopped by the Niners. And to be fair, I don't think the Rams' track record recently is that good against the Niners. And I believe this one it was played outside, so it was definitely Niners. So it was played in San Fran. The offense is just... Stafford just had one of those games where, hey, I kind of suck. It seems like the only target on the field for him is Cooper Kupp. And I really think it's a Matthew Stafford thing. I'm not going to throw shade at the receivers there. There are times, Allen Robinson, yo, I'm open, give me the ball. Okay, never mind. He went to Kupp. He's like Kupp is like consists of like 50% of the passing volume here. So they need to do something different. They still got a really good defense there. But yeah, Matthew Stafford's just Matthew Stafford had the pick six in that game. Niners, you looking great. Jimmy G's there. As long as he's playing mistake free, he's playing good football. You almost had one on the honestly should have beat the Broncos. Just kind of like went down to your own mistakes. You were playing a better game than the Broncos were. But the Niners, man, I like them this year. I like them. I really do. I guess technically they are my top team in the NFC West because I have them now over the Rams because they beat the Rams. They did it. So, man, I'm thrilled. Now going to my top 8 Chargers, they move up a spot with the big win over the Texans. They were expected to beat the Texans. I don't care how hurt they were. That game was almost a foregone conclusion. They were up 27-0 early to start the game. They get the Browns this week in Cleveland. A much better defense there, but still an offense that's a bit stagnant with Jacoby Brissett. But Brissett's been playing good football. This Browns team, again, it's hard to read them, but they've also not played very good teams like Panthers, Steelers, Falcons. I like it. Panthers, Falcons, Steelers, Jets. Like, bruh. Now, only the highest ranked team I have on my power rankings is the Falcons at 24. So, this should be another one where they can win. This is a winnable game. They'll likely not have to face Myles Garrett. They got some serious injuries, so I wasn't going to move them up crazy. Bucks, they lost to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Two good teams playing against one another. One ended up taking the lead, a 2-score lead pretty early. Bucks were stuck playing catch up. It was just good to see a lot of their, at least the receivers come back a bit more healthy. Tom Brady had himself a pretty solid game. Honestly, I think the Chiefs just had a better game plan for the game, especially when they got into the red zone. So yeah, I'm not gonna fault the Bucks. I still think they're a really good squad. I'm gonna keep them here at 7. Bengals are the big movers on the list. They move up 5 spots after starting the season 0-2. They get big wins over the Dolphins and who they beat? Who they play prior? Oh, it was the Jets. Okay. But this week, things may come a little harder as they get a Ravens team that's, despite a loss, I moved up 2 spots, and I'll talk about it when we get there. So, yeah, we'll see with the Bengals. Are you for real? Because now you get to face the team that is running your division, a Lamar Jackson, who is in the MVP conversation. Packers, I'm leaving them put. They almost lost to Bailey Zappi and the Patriots. Like honestly, Aaron Rodgers looks like him and the receivers are gelling a bit more. Mainly him and Romeo Dubs. Never figured out how to pronounce his last name, which is nice. The defense, I'm just a bit surprised that it's not playing. Like, the pass rush is good. The pass rush has been there. The secondary is just, they've had some coverage breakdowns, and it's like not here and there. Typically they play a steady game, but every now and then they have a knack of just giving up the big play. Number 4, despite the loss, I moved the Ravens up 2 spots. They easily could be undefeated right now. It was rough. They let the Dolphins come soaring back in that nutty game where Baltimore was up 35-14. It was like, man, shot ourselves in the foot. In this game against the Bills, instead of going for the field goal to put them up 3, they go with the 4th down conversion. However you feel about it, I don't really care. I think both were the right answers. If you want to go for the field goal, go for the field goal. Trust your defense. Or go for the touchdown and force the Bills to have to retaliate with a touchdown. And that way you're forcing the Bills to play 3 downs play 4 downs rather than 3. What I mean by that is if you're just playing for the field goal, then it's okay. It's okay to just get in field goal range, then 4th down, you just go kick the field goal. But if they have to score a touchdown, that means they have to be converting those 4th downs. There is no field goal possibility. So I understand both sides. I don't really care which side you side with. I think both were kind of the right answers. I don't think there was a wrong answer there. And they just came up on the short end of the stick against one of the best teams in the league, the Bills. So, like, this is a really good Ravens team. I'm not going to fault them for that. Like, I honestly don't believe the teams behind them are currently better than them. And then the Chiefs, they're staying put. They get a good win over the Bucs. Offense looks great. Defense looks really good too. Then the Eagles, man, I'm still hesitant to move this team up because let's be real. Let's be real, man. It's been a bit of a cupcake schedule to start the year. Yeah, they had Detroit, they had Minnesota, which again, Minnesota's 3-1, but have you been impressed with Minnesota outside of their opening week against the Packers? Packers team that's still kind of struggling. So this Jags game really felt like their first real test, and they had to come from behind, and they did that. Then they ended up winning, and it's just for them, the schedule I think is pretty easy to start the year regardless. I think this week it's they get the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been a hot mess. So not to take anything away from how this defense and offense is playing. Like, the run game has been fantastic, and it should be with how gifted that offensive line is. The defense is just playing lights out football, especially the secondary. It's nuts. This is a good Eagles team. I just tend to lean with the Bills here at number 1 because I honestly think the Bills are the best team in the NFL. I know they got some injuries with Hyde. They do get Tre'Davious White back this week, I believe. Tre'Davious White. So that's big. So this team, quite frankly, I thought they played perhaps a better game than the Dolphins did. Real close. It was a close game, close divisional loss. So I didn't want to fault them too much for that. I still think they're the best team in the league. Josh Allen, fun fact, he's amazing. He's a really good quarterback. And much like I talked about with Lamar, Josh Allen currently probably the favorite in the MVP race. So yeah, I'm not gonna bump him down just yet. And to be fair, I think their wins have been more impressive against better competition. Like, the Titans, the Rams, former Super Bowl champions, And then now against the Ravens here. Like, the Eagles just haven't faced a team of that caliber yet. So we'll see. We'll wait and see. Now let's get a move on to my predictions for week 5. And before we do, you're going to see this on the overlay. Check out Underdog Fantasy. If you like weekly fantasy or pick'ems bets, then check out Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Broshmo. They'll hook you up and it helps out the channel. Now let's start with the Thursday night game being the Indianapolis Colts versus Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are 3.5 point favorites. Over under is 43.5. And I'm not going to lie, that seems a bit high. Because I don't know, we've been seeing a lot of low over unders, but 43.5 feels high. Really depends on the status of Jonathan Taylor going into this game. I don't feel good about the Colts. This one's in Denver. You know that Mile High crowd will be there to help support their Broncos and count down the play clock, so there are no offside or no delay of games. So I tend to lean the Broncos here. I wouldn't take them minus 3.5. I just don't trust the Broncos, but I would take them on the money line, and I'm feeling the under in this game. On to the London game. This one's bright and early at 6:30 my time. We got the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. Packers are 8-point favorites. And okay, to be fair, we got to figure out Daniel Jones. We got to see what the injury report has for him going into this week of practice. I don't think 8.5. I would take Giants 8.5, honestly. Like, the way the Packers have been this year, I don't think they will. They have a multiple. This isn't like they're playing the Bears. I don't think they have a multiple score game or win in them right now. I still lean with the Packers, but I would definitely take the Giants plus 8.5. Also looking at the over under 41.5. That one seems just about right. I think I would still lean the I would lean the over in this, though. I think this game comes down to like a 24-21 or maybe like 27-21 type of ball game. Yeah, I'm going with Packers, but I would take Giants 8.5. On to the Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo opens 14-point favorites. Kenny Pickett gets his first start, or at least I'm assuming they're going with Pickett. If you go back to Mitch Trubisky after benching him, come on. But honestly, Pickett moved the ball well. I don't feel bad about taking. If this was honestly any other team, I wouldn't feel bad about taking the Steelers plus 14. I mean, what case do you do? But this Bills team, they've been smashing these like mid to bottom tier teams, like Rams, Titans, like, and those are good squads. So I don't know, man. That's a toughie. Over and under is 47. I might take the over there. This is Bills at home. So yeah, Bills, this should be easy win. I'm interested to see how Kenny Pickett does and what the offense will look like now moving forward with him. Then we got the Chargers versus the Browns. Chargers 3.5 favorites. Over under 48. Ooh, that's a good one. Might try to sneak the under there, but I think that's a good call on the over under though. Chargers, yeah, I think they win this game. Browns should still be down. Myles Garrett. I wonder how many times I've called him Miles Murphy in this. I've been mixing them up in like the last few videos. But shoot, I think I would take the Chargers 3.5. But Browns, they have been playing every team close. Like, all their games have been close. But it's also important to bring up those games were against the Falcons, the Panthers, the Jets, and the Steelers, the Mitch Trubisky-led Steelers. Those aren't good teams. So now that they have to face a good team here, I would take Chargers with the -3. And then we got the Bears versus the Vikings. Vikings open up 7-point favorites. Over and under is 44. I wouldn't mind taking the under here because I don't think the Bears stand a chance. I would take Minnesota money line. I don't love how they're playing this year, but they're still better than the Bears. Bears are just been god awful. So I would take Vikings. I think I'd take the under in this game, but that's a pretty good call. 44. Detroit Lions versus the Patriots. So this is looking like it's probably Bailey Zappi, right? Will Mac Jones be ready for this game? I have my doubts. Mac Jones probably thinks he's ready for this game. He thought he should have played this past week. Depending on how concussion protocol deals with Brian Hoyer, who will be the quarterback there for the Patriots. Fortunately, they're facing one of the worst defenses in football in the Detroit Lions. On the other side, this is also a very explosive offense. So Patriots, 3-point favorites. I buy it. I lean Patriots. I would go money line on this game. I don't want to touch that 3 points. Over under is 46.5. And I wouldn't touch that either, but I kind of lean the over. Seattle Seahawks take on the New Orleans Saints. 5.5-point favorites. I want to take a quick look at Jameis Winston injury updates. This is as of earlier today. And from what I'm seeing, they kind of expect him to play, but he's been playing through multiple injuries since week 1. So it looks like they might give the nod. I mean, regardless, Andy Dalton played a pretty good football game. I really love how the Seahawks are playing, but that Saints defense is playing good ball. I feel like I'd lean the Saints here. I would just go money line. 45.5. I don't buy into the Seahawks offense. They put up 48 against the Detroit Lions. It's the Lions. But I'm not touching them. I'm not touching over under. All right, on to my Miami Dolphins, led by steady Teddy Bridgewater, against the New York Jets, led by Zach Wilson. And let me tell you, I expect an upset this week. I know the Dolphins defense is playing real good, but I think they could get it done. I think the Jets could do just enough. I don't have a lot of faith in the Dolphins offense. The run game's been abysmal this year. They haven't been able to get it started. And the Jets defense played a good ball game just this past weekend. So, you know what? I would go with the Jets. Slap the money line on that too. Jets money line. This is at home too. Over under is 44.5. I wouldn't play with that. On to the Falcons versus the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay 8-point favorites. Over under is 48.5. I would take that over under. I would take Tampa Bay money line with the way this Falcons team is playing. They're playing good football, so I would still take Bucks. I would take the money line, 8 points. I'm not messing with that. That's too much. On to the Tennessee Titans versus the Washington Commanders. Titans open up 2.5-point favorites. I think I would take the Titans in this. Give me the 2.5. Over under is 42.5. I kind of want to go with the over there. Yeah, I think I'd go with the over. Carson Wentz, man, I think he can at least make this game competitive. The Titans have started out hot for 2 consecutive weeks to start the games. And Washington's defense is playing bad football. So, yeah, Titans. On to the Jags versus the Texans. Jags 7-point favorites. Just give me the Jags on the money line. I don't want to tempt fate with this Texans team, especially with how many points did they score in the second half against the Chargers? Okay, so they scored 17 points in the second half, brought it within a 10-point game. I know they're giving them 7 points here. I'm not messing with that. Just give me the Jags on the money line. I'm just waiting for Trevor Lawrence and company just to let me down. This Texans team, I said they're going to be competitive in some games. They're going to be feisty. but they got a lot of young talent. They also lack a lot of depth. They're just not a good team. And then we have don't have lines for these games yet. 49ers versus the Panthers. Give me the Niners. Baker Mayfield's playing terrible, and against that Niner defense right now, that will be costly. Cowboys versus Rams. Oh, do you take Cooper Rush? And with how good this Cowboys team is playing right now, I wouldn't. I would stick with the Rams. They're playing at home here. Aaron Donald is a monster. Their 2 losses I know that they let the Falcons back in that game, but their 2 losses against the Bills. Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL. And then a 49ers team that is, at least historically over the past few years, they typically play bad against. So I expect them to bounce back this week. I am interested, though. On to the Philadelphia Eagles. I know why they don't have lines, because Niners and Rams just finished tonight. Eagles versus the Cardinals. Eagles, 5-point favorites. Give it to me. Give me the Eagles. Give me 5 points. Cardinals, man, they're a team that I think they can make that close. Ooh, I don't know, man. That defense is just so tough. I don't know how close they can make it. I mean, regardless, you're taking the Eagles in this game. It's just, do you want to take the points, or would you put them on the money line? 49.5. I don't want to touch that. Just with the Cardinals, like in their losses, they have a ton of garbage time, yards, and points. So I don't know. I'm not touching that. It's high, but I don't know, not high enough. Bengals take on the Ravens. Ravens 3-point favorites, and I kind of want to roll with that. The Bengals, they beat the Dolphins, where they only had one half of Tua. They beat the New York Jets, as they should have. The Ravens have been putting out banger games. Their 2 losses this year for just unfortunate circumstances. Lamar Jackson is phenomenal. I know this is going to be probably a tight game. I would probably just go with the Ravens on the money line. And 48. I think 40. I like 48. I would say over. I think we're going to see some points. Watch it end like the Bills Ravens game, though, where it's like 23-20 and it's like a 46-point total. Raiders are 7-point underdogs to the Chiefs, and that's fair. This Raiders team, good for y'all. Y'all beat a Broncos team that just doesn't know who they are. Literally, they're like that 13-year-old boy chilling in their room, listening to Simple Plan, trying to figure out their life. That's what the Broncos are right now. They took 2 big hits in that game with Gregory and Williams. But I'm not going to take anything away. The Raiders played pretty good football. The run game got going, but they're not going to put up enough points to stick with the Chiefs. I just honestly believe that. Would I take Chiefs +7 or Chiefs -7? I think I would. 51 over under. I would love to say over. I think I'm going to say the over in that. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. We'll have a mock the mock out later today, and then tomorrow you will get the stock report. As always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.